So, today we're diving deep into Robert Eggers' epic The Northman. And yeah, the Viking action is just incredible, but we're going to go a little deeper. We're going to unpack the hidden philosophical dread that I think is the real heart of this story.
On the surface, this whole film is powered by one single thing. It's a simple, brutal idea that Amleth chants like a mantra. I will avenge you, father. I will save you, mother. I will kill you, Fionir. Seems pretty straightforward, right?
But what if that whole quest for vengeance isn't really the whole story? What if it's just a symptom of something way more profound and, honestly, a lot more unsettling? Let's start with one of the most powerful moments in the film.
Okay, so you know that primal scream Amleth lets out? We're so often told that's a cry of pure rage, a warrior just embracing his inner beast. But let's look at it another way. What if it's not a war cry at all? What if it's a deep, soul-crushing cry of pure despair?
This really gets to the core of it. The Northman isn't just some historical epic. Nope, it's this incredibly detailed exploration of what it feels like to be completely trapped by a fate you never, ever asked for.
So, let's talk about that trap. Amleth's life, from the moment his father is murdered, is basically not his own. His path is set, he's completely bound by a promise, by a legacy, and by this really powerful Norse idea of destiny.
And that concept? It has a name, Weird. Now, this isn't just like a prediction of what might happen. It's an unchangeable, pre-written script for your entire life. Imagine it's a thread woven by the fates, and once it's woven, that's it. Not even the gods can cut it. And for Amleth, his weird is a life of nothing but vengeance.
This is a really important difference between how we might think of destiny today and what the Norse meant by word. We see destiny as this amazing goal, something to aspire to. But word is an unbreakable chain. For Amleth, it's not inspiring at all. It is a source of constant, inescapable dread.
So here's the kicker. His father's heroic reputation doesn't empower him, it imprisons him. Every single choice he makes has to be filtered through this one question. What do I have to do to fulfill this oath? His dad's legacy becomes a cage, and Amleth is just the animal trapped inside, pacing back and forth. And you can really feel that sense of being trapped in the quest itself. I mean, as Amleth goes after his revenge, you see it brings him absolutely zero satisfaction. It's just this grim, joyless march toward an ending that was written for him ages ago.
His journey isn't a story of progress. It's just a miserable loop. He hunts his enemies, he kills them brutally, he suffers, both emotionally and physically, and then he just does it all over again. There's no growth. There's no joy. It's just the turning of a bloody, miserable wheel.
What he's going through connects directly to some classic philosophical ideas. His whole journey is a perfect example of absurdity. He's desperately trying to find meaning in a quest that has none, and he feels this version of angst. Now, angst usually comes from having too much freedom, but for Amleth, it's the absolute dread of having no freedom to escape the path that's been laid out for him.
And this all just explodes in the film's climax. Amleth finally gets the thing he's been fighting for his entire life. But what does that victory actually look like? Is he free? Does he find any peace? The cost of his revenge is just laid bare. It's like a balance sheet from hell. To avenge his father, he ends up killing his mother. To kill his uncle, he has to give up his love, Olga. To restore a kingdom that doesn't even exist anymore, he sacrifices any shot at a future with his own family. And in the end, he sacrifices his own life. It's not a victory. It's total annihilation. And I think that's the film's brutal takeaway. The act of vengeance doesn't break the cycle of suffering that started with his father's murder. No, it just guarantees the misery will continue, burning everything and everyone Amleth ever cared about straight to ash.
So is that it? Is it all just meaningless? Was Amlet's whole life just one long, pointless tragedy? Well, not quite. The film gives us one last fascinating little twist, because in his final moments, Amlet finally finds a kind of choice.
When he has that chance to escape with Olga, to go live a new life, he turns back. And you have to ask, why? Because in a world where his entire path was pre-written, the only real choice he had left was to knowingly and willingly walk that path to its bitter, bloody end. He can't change his word, but he can choose to face it head-on. And that leaves us with his final lingering question. Is Amleth just a pawn of his father's legacy, a ghost haunted by the past? Or, in that final, defiant act of embracing his own doom, does he actually manage to forge a dark, tragic meaning that is entirely his own? The film doesn't give you an easy answer, and honestly, that's exactly what makes it so powerful.